Hello everybody, PsyStarcraft here with another zany commentary. This is going to be on Scrap Station with the red Zerg in the top as JMO against Terabyte, the blue Zerg in the mid right. This is a silver level play game and I have not seen it at all, so stay tuned for an awesome game. I need to get rid of that number in the top left. Okay, gonna go back to my normal voice now. But like I just said, this is against two silver level players, and I don't know who they are, but I got a pretty good response from my last video from a lot of the beginners that they did learn a lot from it. So I'm going to be casting one more silver level game, and don't worry, after this I will get back to the higher level players, and everything will be fine and dandy and peachy and all that good stuff. So hopefully this is a good one. It is a 20... you didn't hear me say that. I'm going to be covering up that replay bar. I almost forgot. But let's get into the builds here. We're seeing a 10 Overlord from this Zerg and a 10 Pool from this Zerg, it would seem. So he's replacing that 10th drone right now, and now he's probably getting an Overlord, yeah. So once this pool completes, this is kind of unusual. A 10 Pool on Scrap Station is, to be honest, it's bad. The only time it might do a little bit of damage is if this Zerg chooses to expand without getting a spawning pool first, because then the Zerglings can either march in and do tons of drone damage, or of course stop this expansion. Otherwise it's going to be so bad. Even if this player went like a 15 pool, because of the long travel distance on Scrap Station, it's going to be really difficult to do any damage before this guy's able to get any drone or any Zerglings or queens up. So we're probably going to see just that. We're seeing 6 lings. Hopefully he will prove me right and send them across the map, and this Zerg will just completely thwart the attack. But oh, looks like he's going to throw down a spine crawler as well, so this drone gonna wreak some havoc. I actually tried this build, if you guys remember, a 10 pool with 2 drones setting down some spines. It works very well against average players. Against good players though, they're able to micro against it too good and it just won't really do much. So pool is up, starting 6 lings, so very nice response from the red Zerg to this early rush, which he saw with the Overlord, of course. And the queen is on the way, even a spine for good measure. I have no problem with that at all. And look at this, just like I said, these lings are going to be out before these lings even get there. So as long as JMO micros this right, he should be fine. Is it going to win? Oh, the red Zerg is going to take it down. 2 lings might be able to DPS that down. Blue player cancels it, and rightly so. That queen was going to be out there as well. And if I was red at this point, I would cancel, and just get these drones on the minerals, expand. He's going to have tons of money. Maybe start that gas out and get some roaches or banelings. I'm not sure how old this game is and whether or not banelings were kind of the metagame back then, but apparently not if we're not seeing that. But he doesn't need these spines anymore. He stopped the attack. Maybe keep one of them if he wanted, and just focus on economy and producing mobile units. Here we go. There's that expansion. So happy about that. Both expanding in their naturals. Scrap Station did have these destructible debris, so we're looking good. Debris. And now we've moved into a little macro game here, and I'm actually going to speed it up just a scotch so I can fit this into 2 videos, because it is kind of on the borderline right now and there's not a lot happening here. So speed up times 3. More macro from the Zerg player. Let's look at the production tab. That'll kind of help you guys out. So both expanding. Now the blue player seems to be getting a Roach Warren. So there's the Roach Warren. And Zergling speed. Not so sure about that. Although on Scrap Station it couldn't hurt. But that's a lot of precious gas that you could use for roaches. Slowing it back down again. Red player is getting a baneling nest, so he should probably do a little bit of scouting before he throws down a baneling nest this late, especially against roaches, which are going to be very effective against those banelings. Busting down the wall here. Okay, he's busting down a wall when he could just kind of run in there and scope it out himself, but once these lings move out, that'd be kind of troublesome. And again, any Zerg player that has this many lings just sitting in their base is crazy. What are you doing, man? Move these freaking lings out here, do some scouting, do some damage, stick one on the tower. I mean, even just having them at this choke, or maybe busting down rocks if you want to do that. Do something with the lings. They are fast. You're not going to get like rooted and killed or anything like that. There's no Keeper of the Grove to entangle your Zerglings. So quit worrying about that. Move your Zerglings. Do not play this passively. And also do something with this expansion. It's been up for some time. No hotkeys from this player as well, and I don't understand that. Why do people think they only need to hotkey units? They can hotkey buildings as well. Hotkey all your hatcheries to 4, or hotkey them separately, like 4 and 5, but now he's moving out. Let's hope he doesn't waste any banelings on these Zerglings that are just going to run away. Okay, good. So pretty good baneling management there, not wasting any that he didn't need to. And an income tab, blue player is actually getting a lot more drones, so a little bit more on the ball as far as economy goes. Lair has completed, and so many unused larvae from JMO just because he is missing that overlord. He has Psylocked himself, but hopefully he can counteract that with some damage here. Banelings moving in. I'd surround with these lings. Oh my god, he just wasted all those banelings to kill 4 roaches that would have fallen. They probably would have killed those Zerglings, but he didn't need to waste those banelings in that fashion. Sending in more Zerglings against the blue player, gonna take them out. And I'd like to see him march on down there, although he has some lings and a queen there, so he wouldn't do too much damage. These are just going to get a scout in. Maybe he'll kill a drone. I think he might have killed 1 drone there. Hard to say. So a pretty even game so far. Blue taking the early advantage economically, but yeah, still just a hatchery. Oh yeah, as I was saying earlier, don't Psylock yourself. It's very bad. When you Psylock yourself, you can't train units, and when you can't train units, you tend to die in the game. So always keep an eye on your overload count. Whenever like a good little system that I use is whenever larva pops from my queens inject, train your units, but always use one of those units to get an overlord. If you do that, you'll find yourself being very happy, and a steady flow of drones and Zerglings will be coming out, and that's a good thing. So far, just a lot of Zergling battles here. I'd like to see JMO get a couple more banelings just to kind of deal with these Zerglings. But drones are going to get in the mix, maybe turn the tides. No, these blue Zerglings are going to do quite a bit of damage, killing 2 or 3 drones there I didn't quite see. No rally point on this hatchery. Just kind of pooping out units right down on the bottom. You usually want to rally probably right here. It's a good spot, covering both of the bases. Some roaches in. Okay, here we go. If you're gonna use roaches in this small number of units, you want to go for the mineral line. You don't really want to attack the hatchery. Smart move pulling back though. You don't want to move up to where you can't really see what there is. Undiscovered area. And look at the money on this red player. Oh my god, so frustrating. Gonna wring his effing neck. 1,500 minerals, 900 gas. He's got larva here. He used to have larva there. He just made a bunch of roaches, so that's good. Why not go lair here? Why not? Seriously, there is not a single reason why he would not make that a lair. He's got so much money. 3 roaches against 4 roaches. Yeah, I don't blame him for backing out there, but this hatchery is going to go down. Queen pops out just to die. Cancel the queen next time, please. And it's just not looking good for the red player. Continuing to rally these forces. Can you imagine how much more effective this attack would be if these roaches and Zerglings down here were up here where they should be? It'd be essentially GG. These forces would die, and he could just kind of stick his units right out here, contain the red Zerg, and just send everything in here that he produces and macro up. It's really that easy. Still only running off 1 gas here. 2,000 minerals from the blue player as well. If you have 2,000 minerals, despite like just being bad at spending it, if somehow you do get 2,000, expand, expand, expand. Take all of these bases. Who cares if you can't use them right away? It's always good to have those for when you need them. Plus, Zerg will oftentimes just expand, maybe put a couple guys on minerals, but most importantly for gas. So, you know, he should just throw down, well, he should start mining gas first of all, which he's not doing. I'm being very critical. This is angering the Psy. My Psy Chi. Okay, now he's going lair. That's good. Want to see some roach speed. Are we seeing any evolution chambers from this person who now has 2 hatcheries and only running off 2 gas now, unfortunately? No evolution chambers. Oh, we've got a battle here. Terrible positioning by the blue player. He is going to lose this. He should run away right now, but he's not going to because he has poor judgment. Oh. Oh, come here, kitty. Come here. Come here. See how exciting this game isn't? Yeah, so cute. So yeah, the red player is still at a disadvantage despite his enormous economy. He's going to actually deposit that in the bank and try to get some interest on it so he can pump out a lot of mutas once that completes. So, yeah, some Zerglings still kind of hanging out down there. Large Roach army. He has a lair, but, you know, a lair is really just for intimidation factor. You want to get that lair up and so your opponent sees it and thinks you're going to actually utilize it. But instead, don't get Roach speed, don't get a Spire or a Hydra Den. Just leave it there. And you should win the morale victory, you know. Moral victory, rather. And I think it really shows in Red's Harvester count. It's very, very weak. He's got quite a few Roaches pumping out, though. No Roach speed, so it looks like Red player not getting Roach speed or anything else. That's what I just said. At least the blue